Alright guys, so finally the chain is just beat down the more than I want to deal with. So I'm finna put the chain on this new chain on here. And going to cut the rest of this wood because I get a new chain on here that's gonna go real easy. Chains are about $20-something each, so you want to make sure that you want to make sure that you got all the damn use out of the chain. And I could probably cut some more with it, but I cut what I thought I could cut with it, and I've sharpened it about 6 times, so it's at the end of what it can do and what it can be. So another thing with wood that's been sitting like this I don't want to put, the reason I hadn't been wanting to put a new chain on it ain't because I'm cheap or nothing. It's just because once these chains hit this dirt and stuff and these logs that have been sitting, if I was on a fresh tree, I wouldn't have no problem putting a new chain on from the very beginning. But see, this is wood that's been laying here by this dirt pile, rained on for like 9 months, 8 months. So over that course of time, it has whenever I take the saw apart, I always get all the crap out of here best I can. All this stuff, and the saw's still pretty warm. So I just knock. I don't wash it or nothing. I just kind of knock everything loose and make sure the oil reservoir thing is clean, so the oil will flow to the bar. And yeah. May not even look. Normally I don't do it when it's this hot. Bars. See on the bar? See, there's a big lip right there. See what happens? Explain to y'all what I think happens. So when you're cutting wood and the bar heats up and you're going through the wood, that's how I know that my help's been using this saw, because the grooves on this there is a lip. So what happens if there's a lip right here and right here and right here and right here all the way across, then that makes the bar wider than the chain by a smidget or two, and so then that makes it where the chain, it'll start cutting, and then it has a hard time. Once you start cutting, it has a hard time getting over that lip, and then up here it has a hard time getting over the lip. So as you're pushing down in, it's resisting. It's not even smooth. These things, if anything, should be smooth, so the oil on the bar will help it slide down through the woods. If you got a burr on that, dude, you got a problem. Now, I know that everybody's gonna say something different about what I do or whatever, but since I didn't know that this was going on, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use the file that I will use on the, it's a big lip too, y'all. Golly. And that'll make your chain, that will make your saw appear like the chain is dull. That'll make your saw hard to push through the wood, and it will be harder to push through the wood, but it's hard to identify that. You got to look at the chips that are coming out and all that. But what ends up happening is as this chain is spinning around and around on this metal, it's heating it up, which is making it worse. Because if the bar is not moving through the wood and spitting chips, then it gets real hot real quick. Because it's metal on metal. The chain's metal and the bar's metal. We got a burr all the way across, and I don't know if this right here probably is not the best way to do it. I'll get an angle grinder, and I could do it, or I got another bar somewhere. I ain't going down to the garage and all that right now. So a lot of times when you think it might be the chain, and it will be the chain if you don't fix this, because the chain will heat up, and then what happens to the metal when it heats up? It gets soft. So that's what happened here. Also, I think, I don't know for sure, but I think dude, that's crazy. And I always get a piece of cardboard right here, y'all, and run them in the channel here. From front to back. A business card, anything. And you see all that goo is coming out of there? I want the chain to ride through there as freely as possible. At least, and everything that I'm saying is not, I ain't no arborist school told me all this, and these are just things that I have learned over the years of being in business, and usually when you learn something, see, these holes need to be clear. Usually when you learn something is when you have to pay for it. So usually you wouldn't think that'd be the case, but that is. So yeah, and this bar looks a lot better now. I'm going to get all this goo out of here. See, there's just a lot of trash. Just sawdust, no big deal, but you want air and stuff to be able to get in everywhere, These things can heat, they get pretty hot. Especially when you don't know what you're doing. And a lot of the guys that work for me, they think that the damn chain's spinning. I've seen them in the tree with the chain. And I always want to clean out that oil thing right there. I've seen them in the, cutting a tree. Well, I just told them to grab the saw and cut the tree, and they'll be cutting it. The saw will be wide open, and not a chip, not one wood chip coming out of the back of the saw. And then what happens? The bar gets hot. It starts smoking. So, I'm really funny about letting people use my saws and stuff. Even the guys that work for me, they got to be. And I know y'all might think this is stupid, but I ain't really worried about them, cutting their leg off or nothing. If I'm that uncomfortable with them, then I'm not even they're not gonna have a saw in their hand. But I'm more worried about them burning up my bar and chain. That's what I'm more worried about. Cause I can use a brand new chain. I could put a $25 chain on here, and I can literally cut for a long time. I don't know how long, but I've had saws last me a long time. If you don't hit the dirt with it, chains that last me a long time. You can't hit the dirt with it, And that's what You can't hit the dirt with it, and you can't let it get too hot. You got to kind of finesse a little bit with a chainsaw. You know, it ain't like a hedge trimmer or weed eaters and stuff. You know, it's like you know, you just have to. You know, it's like it's sitting in there all kind of crooked, man. Everything's got grooved up. It can really only go on one way once you get the teeth going the right way. Of course, the teeth going that way on top is always the case. And after that, it's just about getting it back together. And that's usually pretty easy. Take these gloves off now. I don't really like having gloves on when I'm doing this. See, I just gotta pay attention. See, the glider here came out, and they're notorious for that, so you might need some more, but that's okay. Okay, so we're gonna put that on there. We'll just get them started so the damn thing don't come off. And watch, y'all, once I get this thing running, you know, with this new chain on there, I'll cut all this wood up in no time. I mean, literally no time. So now what I do is I tighten it down, not tight, just get it down with where it's holding the bar. You know. Because obviously the chain is too loose right now. And something else I hate to do, I hate throwing these away, man. But, you know, I hate throwing them away because I know I could get another cut, some more cuts out of that. So then you got a screw right here, you just turn the screw and you tighten it up. You don't want to tighten it too tight because again, it's metal on metal. So when I'll tighten this up real quick right here, and I just like to crank it up one time in case it's not on the sprocket, sitting on the sprocket side or whatever. See, still just a little bit too loose for me. I don't know. Especially if you're cutting little stuff, man. You want it to be, it's got to be tighter than that. And my rule of thumb is pull it out about as far so you can see the bottom of that, and then that's about it. And then always tighten this back up. I have forgotten to do that before. And well, I'm still here with all my fingers and all my toes, so okay. Man, this thing's ready to go. This thing's sharp as all get out too. Okay. And I know this is probably not something that everybody does, but I just like to put a little oil on the bar. You know, of course, put oil in here. And that's another thing. My guys don't realize how important the oil on the bar is. I mean, at least in the reservoir, they don't normally put it on the. I want guys that want to know how to do all this stuff, man. Well, I can do this in my sleep. I'm gonna get over and cut all these logs right here, and watch me. No joke.